Hello and welcome to your daily Google News. I did a really fun interview with our boy Frederick Vallis over at Optimizer. You might remember him. He did an interview for us. It's in my YouTube channel. You can find it. Brilliant guy. He was employee 400 and something at Google. He's the guy who bought analytics. So like he found and purchased the company that is now Google Analytics on behalf of Google. He also invented conversion tracking, which is maybe the most important part of Google Ads. Like, really wicked sharp guy. Probably one of the smartest Google Ads guys on the planet. Owns a SaaS company now that helps you automate Google Ads. He and I are philosophically opposed to each other, but we also are friendly. And I definitely respect his opinion. I don't know how he feels about me. But if you want to go check out that interview, you can check it out, Optimizer Town Hall. He also had Ken Chang on there from Star Tribune. Ken manages 300 accounts with 3 other staff members. Unfreaking believable. Does it using Optimizer. Really compelling. You can see the interview here. Make sure to check out our boy Frederick's YouTube channel. Subscribe. Yeah, look at that. One of the best PPC town halls. Yeah. But anyway, what's interesting is Frederick asked, he gave me some talking points before the talk, and I had them ready, and we actually never got to them, and I didn't want to waste the content. So I thought I'd use them here. I hope y'all don't mind. Of course you don't mind. This is like good stuff for you. So what I want to talk about is using offline conversions to help smart bidding perform better. Frederick wanted to head in that direction. We kind of touched on it a little bit, glazed over it, but I was ready to dive deep. So I just took the little notes that I had for myself and I turned them into slides, and hopefully that plays well. The first thing that I'll mention is for offline conversion tracking, you want to import sales that took place from phone calls. This is really important. We have a client that they sell medical devices, among many other things. Now, they have a big SKU count. It's in the thousands. And people will go online and they'll buy a light bulb, right? Or, a replacement screen, or even products that bleed into the hundreds and sometimes like low thousands. But the $30,000 medical device, they're probably going to call and buy that thing. And if you're not importing that offline conversion, you're not telling Google that happened, which means Google's not trying to replicate that success on your behalf, which is a problem because that's the best conversion that you could have, right? That's the biggest thing. That's what you wanted to sell in theory. And so making sure, and honestly, it's not just about size either. If you have a business, and this I'm focusing on e-com obviously only because the conversion values are being calculated for every other purchase other than these. In a few other mild exceptions, which I'll get to too. If you have a business where you are selling over the phone, in addition to whatever you're selling in your shopping cart, which I think is a lot of e-commerce stores, by the way. Supplements I've noticed people calling all the time, like, oh, does it have, the thing, or where is this sourced? They'll have specific questions, so it doesn't necessarily just have to be large dollar amounts, but make sure that you're attaching values to those conversions and piping them back into Google Ads, which incidentally is not hard to do. I've got a video on that too. I'll make sure to link to that in the description of this video. But it's tedious. It's a pain in the hindquarters. What I'd recommend doing, to be honest with you, is go hire an offshore VA and make this their job. Listen to all the phone calls, extract the value of the order in the phone call, which is, somebody's there taking the order or walking them through that. You're going to hear it. Pipe it into whatever system it is that you're using to track that type of thing. It can be as simple as Google Sheets. To be honest with you should probably use a CRM. If you're using like call tracking metrics to go high level, I think you can. I don't know about high level, but I know in CTM you can actually take notes right there, which is cool. And that will help you improve the efficacy of your campaign. And more to the point of the core question, improve smart bidding, because smart bidding really is smart, but only if it has all the data. Make sure that you're giving it all the data. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is limit your chat imports based on quality. So if you're using chats, bots or otherwise, what I've noticed most ads agencies do, and admittedly we've gotten lazy and done this sometimes on some campaigns, depending on the campaign and the size of it and whatever. But what I've noticed most people do is they import 100% of all chats wholesale, or they ignore chats completely. You want to do exactly with chats what we just talked about with phone calls. You want to import the quality chats as leads, and if there's a value to that chat, because there's in-app purchases and whatnot, then you want to import that value too, because that's going to help your smart bidding get smarter. I realize, y'all, that this isn't the job that anybody's going to be vying for, right? It's one step above data entry. There's some intelligence to it, obviously, and some data distillation, but for the most part, it's tedious. It's also going to be what sets your campaign above your competitors. So do the work here, and you're going to see the results. And I can tell you we've seen that on our end time and time and time and time again. We actually have members of our staff that do nothing but listen to and score phone calls. And there's one other agency on the planet that I know that does that. But we also have better performing campaigns than everybody else does. So if you're willing to do all of this work, then I think it's worth it. We actually don't provide this service for clients in the realm of chat, only because that's harder, to be frank, to systematize. There's a word that makes sense there. You fill it in the blanks. Number 3, importing post-first sale transactions back into Google helps identify LTV. LTV is lifetime value and can ensure a proper ROAS is set. So here's what's really important. And we've got a bunch of clients that have this problem, and some of them are good at this and some of them are not. But one client I'll give you in particular, because they're maybe the most extreme use case. They sell a very specific type of industrialized tape, and they sell it to a very specific type of industrial service provider. I'm trying to veil their identity, as you can tell. Well, a roll of tape is $4 or something. It's sub 10 for sure. And they lose money on that initial transaction because, when they pay for the traffic, they're, after COGS and shipping and all that good stuff, they're not making money on a sub $10 roll of tape. But when people use the tape and realize, oh goodness, this actually works for what I need it to work for, they buy well into the tens of thousands of dollars. So their lifetime value of a customer is exponentially higher than that initial transaction. If we didn't take that transaction value and import it back into Google, Google wouldn't know that and wouldn't be able to optimize for it. I also, and I have no way of proving this, I've always felt that Google prioritizes higher converting advertisers. And now that I say that out loud, it's kind of like, well, yeah, of course they do, dummy. It's sort of the point of quality score, right? Like, I realize that quality score doesn't report on that specifically, but Google has come out and said, hey, we want you to be relevant. Google has always prioritized relevance. What could be more relevant than a conversion? And so if you're not giving Google your LTV data, then you're not showing it how relevant you really are. And importing the bad leads back into Google Ads will help identify where phantom conversions are happening. This is my business partner, John Moran, smartest guy in the whole wide world. I never would have considered this, honestly, if he didn't lob this over the fence. This is brilliant. You can create a conversion action. Now, you're obviously not going to optimize for this action, but you can create a conversion action and import those leads back into Google and attribute them to that conversion action if you want to be able to reverse engineer where the bad leads are coming from, in terms of campaign ads, whatever. This can really help with diagnosing things and then maybe, narrowing down specific campaigns, especially if you're using smart bidding, because as you know, it takes off like a shot, sometimes in the wrong direction. What else do I got? That's all I got. I did it. I went through the list. So these were really talking points for, the interview that I was going to be on, and nobody asked me. And I didn't want to lose them because I thought they were really good. So I know the topic is specific, but hopefully that's valuable to you as well. And I love y'all. And our YouTube subscribership is like blowing up. I remember in the very beginning when we first started this, I was just begging for 1,000 subscribers because we couldn't go live until we hit 1,000. And now we're 3x that and like marching very quickly to 4 and hopefully 5 and then 1 billion. And then I'll be truly YouTube famous. That's all I got. I'm the co-host of Perpetual Traffic now, which is cool. It's the consistently one of the top 10 marketing podcasts in the world. Would love to see y'all there. If you want to tune in, it drops every Tuesday wherever podcasts are heard. There's probably a smarter way to say that. You can go to digital marketers, digitalmarketer.com/podcasts as well. I'll put a link in the description. That's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.